तो ना वेट करवा लेना, अगर बहुत अर्जेंट हो जाता है अंदर भेजना, नोट कर ली जो भी आ रहे हैं ना, पेपर से नोट कर ली ना, फिर खुद कॉल कर बैक करके बुलावांगे। करना उधर से भी ऑन करना।
सेम पे है।
सेम पे आ रहा है। स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हुआ, मेरे पास हो गया इधर से तो। यहाँ पे तो स्क्रीन शेयर हो रहा है, हो गया है ना? Okay. So first question was postmortem lividity is on the knees and front of the legs. See, in this case, the postmortem staining is not mentioned over the feet and over the hands also. If it would have been over the feet and hands, then it's called glove and stocking pattern of postmortem staining in complete hanging. Okay, or you can say typical hanging. So most probably the answer to this question is partial hanging. The person was kneeling and the staining was developed over the knees and legs. Okay, so answer for this is C, partial hanging. Okay, second question. An accused in a case of sexual assault is unwilling to be examined. So accused and sexual assault offense, the following section can be applied to petition without consent. So you must be knowing there is only and only one section which says that person can be examined without consent, and that section is 52 of Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, BNSS. So answer is A. That 180 for BNSS is examination of the victim of the accused. Okay. Then these other sections are not they're very important. Or if you want to know that 72 BNS, what was that 72 BNS? You look for that. Okay. We'll see later on. Then number 3 question. A person believes that everyone on the internet is talking about her because she of which she is unable to work. The most likely delusion described here is it is delusion of reference, because that person is believing that everyone is referring to her. This is called delusion of reference. See, delusion of grandeur is when the person thinks he is very rich, but actually he is not rich. Delusion of persecution is when person thinks someone wants to kill him. The example is that famous McNaughton case. McNaughton was suffering from delusion of persecution. And delusion of nihilism is when the person thinks that God does not exist and he is everything. That is a delusion of nihilism. So in this case, answer is delusion of reference. Okay. Next question. Barnes-Dola is a form of asphyxia using bamboo stick. It's basically bamboo stick, but there is no bamboo stick. So answer is wooden stick. Answer will be C. Okay, it's not ligature is basically that strangulation, and bend of elbow is called mugging. This question is of Barnes-Dola, so answer will be wooden stick. Okay. Which section of the POXO Act 2012 deals with the punishment of penetrative sexual assault? It is section 4 of the POXO Act. Actually, there are sections of the POXO Act which are important. This section 4 talks about the punishment for penetrative sexual assault. Next question is lynching. Lynching is a form of Lynching is when a mob, like a group of person, they collectively hang a person. So basically it is homicidal hanging. Okay. Hanging is usually suicidal. It may be accidental also. Homicidal hanging is very rare. We give only two examples for homicidal hanging. One is this lynching. Okay. And other we give example for homicidal hanging is judicial hanging, because that is also homicidal hanging, but that is justifiable hanging. Okay. It's not murder, it's justifiable hanging. Here the answer is lynching is example for homicidal hanging. In typical hanging, the knot is placed at. See, the typical hanging knot is placed at the nape of the neck. We say nape of the neck, that is occiput region. So here answer is A, occiput. Okay. If knot is placed anywhere else, it is called atypical hanging. Even in judicial hanging, knot is at the side of the mandible. Okay. So even judicial hanging is not a typical hanging. Hesitation cuts also called as tentative cuts. They are seen in cases of suicide. Okay, hesitation cuts, oblique tentative cuts, they are in cases of suicide. Now, molecular death. When we classify death, one is cellular death and cellular or molecular death. Otherwise, is complete complete death. Okay, so molecular death is death of the individual tissues and cells after somatic death. Okay. So basically classification of death is one is body death, somatic death, other is molecular death, also called as cellular death. In this case, answer will be B, death of individual tissues and cells after somatic death. Basically, the medical legal importance of molecular death is after somatic death, because the individual organs are still alive. So organ transplantation can take place during that period. Okay. Especially like cornea, we say cornea can be transplanted. Okay. Time limit for exhumation of a body in India. Exhumation is digging out of a already buried body. There is no time limit in India. After any time, the body can be exhumed in India. There is no time limit. Okay. So these were 10 MCQs questions. Okay. Okay. Now we go to the other questions. Long question. First long question is definition of rape. This we all know. This is section 63 of our BNS, and section 63 of BNS. If I have to shortly tell you, I can just show you 63 BNS. We had. See, section 63 BNS is the definition of rape. Actually, this is a quite lengthy section. But briefly, if the student can write something, that will be good. Because this section, this is section 63. It starts with this first line: a man is said to commit rape if he penetrate, insert, manipulate, supplies. These are 4 parts. Then there are 7 clauses: against her will, without her consent, with her consent, when her consent has been obtained by putting her or any person in whom she is interested in fear of death or hurt. So these are all 7 points. Then there are 2 explanations and 2 exceptions. First explanation is the for purpose of this section, vagina also includes labia majora. And second explanation is consent means that by non-verbal means also. Okay. Again, here mentioned is provided that a woman who does not physically resist to the act of penetration shall not by reason of act be regarded as consenting. So even if it does not resist, that does not means consenting. Okay, then there are 2 exceptions. One is medical procedure or intervention, and second is with his own wife when she is under, she is not below 18 years of age. So this is our section definition of rape as per section 63. The next part was describe the procedure for examination of survivor of rape. Usually I say to the student that for this examination of survivor, you should remember that section 184 of BNSS. Okay, because that tells everything how to do the examination of the survivor of rape. So 184, if I can shortly show you 184 of BNS, Bharatiya Nagarik, Bharatiya Nyaya Sita, and not this. One 184 of BNS, that is that tells all the points like how to do the examination of the victim of rape. So here is the medical examination of the victim of rape is a section 180, 184. Okay. See this tells the registered medical practitioner to whom such woman is sent shall without delay examine her person and prepare a report of the examination. You have to note down the name and address of the woman and of the person by whom she was brought, age of the woman, description of the material taken from the person of the woman for DNA profiling, marks of injuries on the body, general mental condition, other materials, particulars in reasonable detail. The report shall state precisely the reason for each conclusions arrived at, and the report shall specifically record that the consent of the woman or the person competent to give such consent on her behalf to such examination had been obtained. So consent, a lot of stress has been given on the consent. Exact time of the commencement. This is very important, that when the examination was started and completion, it was completed. And then a registered medical practitioner within a period of 7 days forward the report to the investigating officer, who shall further forward it to the magistrate under section 193. Okay. So this is the examination of a victim of rape. So this was our first question. First was definition of rape, then procedure for examination of the rape, then add in note on the evidence collection. The various evidence which are collected. Mainly it is the vaginal swabs, and it's not just swabs. We have to make the smears also, and then we can to collect the clothing and any foreign hair particles, any foreign stains, nail scrapings that we have to do. Okay, so this much is enough. Okay, for this long question. So after this, accordingly, you can give the marks. Next question is difference between hanging and strangulation.